All right, welcome back. In this video, we're going to show you how to engage your audience in a presentation. By the end of this video, you'll have your audience saying, "That was so engaging." In this video, I'm going to give you the #1 cue to your audience saying, "This is boring." Next, we're going to share with you what the top research says for you to engage your next audience. And I'm going to share with you tips used by the top certified speaking professionals in the world. And then I'm going to share a story with you how I got an audience member to say he was engaged at a level 100. This first tip is know thy audience. Make sure that you take the extra time to research your audience. Learn who the top players are, who their competitors are, who the VIPs in the audience are, and what's the recent news. By doing this, you can show people that you know their industry, maybe their acronyms, the language associated with it, and they will feel more like you are part of their industry. This next tip is engage early. One, make sure that you go to your rehearsal as early as possible to make sure that everything is working, and then engage early by showing up inside the room. Once you know everything is ready, I take the time to walk through the audience. I'll ask them questions related to my presentation and then make sure I remember their name. So it's much easier for me to ask them saying, "Can I borrow you later in the presentations?" By engaging early in the presentation, you create engagement even before you get on the stage. This next tip will show you why you really need to start engaging at the beginning of your presentation. What I like to say is the first 5 minutes of your presentation are the most important. Now, why is that? Because those 5 minutes set the tone for the rest of your presentation and your keynote. In those first 5 minutes, make sure there's something that happens there to signal to this audience that your presentation is different. It might be walking out into your audience. It might be having them talk to their neighbor. It might be showing a high-end video that will have emotional impact with them. But think very carefully, what can you do in those first 5 minutes that you can really show that this presentation will have energy, engagement, and be different from all the others. If you're liking the tips inside this video, make sure and click the like button. That's one way you can show me that you're engaged with this video. Now, this next tip is engage often. The research shows that John Medina from University of Washington up in Seattle showed in a book called Brain Rules that the human brain turns off at 9 minutes and 59 seconds. That's right, 9 minutes and 59 seconds. In fact, he redid his research less than a year ago to reprove this fact that the human brain will go off somewhere else into every 10 minutes or so. So engage often. Think about how you can change or do something different in your presentation every 10 minutes. It, again, might be a different point. It could be showing a video. It could be talking to people in the audience. It could be having them even stop and reflect on what's happening. It could be a musical experience, but think about all the different ways that you can change what's happening every 9 minutes and 59 seconds to make sure your audience stays engaged. This next tip to engage your audience is to give value. While you might be a great speaker, so eloquent, or maybe gorgeous or beautiful, or whatever it is, your audience wants value. They want something that will change their work, their business, or their life in some way, shape, or form. So see if you can give value as early as possible. Give a tip that they can use inside of their work. Give a quote as something that they can remember to help them change their mindset. Give them a fact about their industry that they didn't know. These are all ways that you can give value, and I suggest you give value as early as possible in your presentation. Find a way to make sure that your audience is getting value and helping to do their job better every single day. This next tip is be you. Your audience will know if you're trying to be somebody else. So be you. Authenticity is one of the top ways to connect and engage with your audience. Your audience wants to know that somehow that you are like them. The audience wants to know who you are, and they want to like and trust you. Your authenticity is something that you can work on every day as a way to connect to your audience. You can share a personal fact about you. You can share how you're not perfect either. And I think that's one way that you can connect with your audience. You can use your style to help your presentation. So make sure and find a way to share who you are and what some of your skills and talents as well as sometimes what your deficiencies are. Here's a great story that shows that. So this is a story about one of the ways that you can show your authenticity. So I was the virtual MC in a program that was coming out of Georgia while I was virtual in Seattle. Inside of this program, we lost audio from Georgia, and I was the virtual MC. So I stepped in and let the virtual audience know, hey, we lost our audio. And I said, let me go check and see what's going on. I'll be right back. So I text the Georgia team, the technical team, and I said, hey, we lost audio. What's up? And I got the reply. This was their reply. It's going to be a while. And so this is one of the ways that I got a chance to show my authenticity. So I don't know if you've ever heard of something called PowerPoint karaoke. But if you haven't heard about it, PowerPoint karaoke is where you try and present a slide deck that you have never seen before. And so I have practiced this exercise and I suddenly realized this is a live version of this. So instead what I did then was turn on my mic and I started presenting this gentleman's slide deck from Georgia, sight unseen. And I had to do it for 32 minutes. So it's not a skill I think everybody has, but it definitely showed a skill and a piece of my authenticity inside of that presentation, and most importantly, kept this hybrid presentation from being engaging. Once the audio came back in after 32 minutes, the virtual audience asked the presenter in Georgia 2 questions, and then the chat blew up. And they came back and they said, oh my gosh, John, you completely nailed this presentation. We can't believe that you presented this whole presentation sight unseen. We appreciate you for saving this presentation. So that's another way to be engaging inside of there. So I hope all of these tips have helped you find and think about different ways that you can be engaging in your next presentation. So if this video has been helpful for you, then I have a free gift for you. Normally I have a masterclass that people pay $100 for, but I'm going to give it to you for free. When you complete the 6 steps to more engaging presentations masterclass, you'll be able to engage your audiences immediately, have people tell you you're one of the top presenters, and get invited back to even more presentations after that. Just follow the link to get to this presentation.